I never ask. I don't think I want to know, but I do want to know sometime. Why do you leave me behind again? Because that's what I felt like when I was shipped off to live it somewhere else. I want to be with the family. It's like, why do you leave me behind?
Episode 3: The Cost of Being the Good Daughter. This episode is brought to you by GoldTree Co, where we believe wealth is more than numbers, it's confidence, freedom, and legacy. A few years ago, I started asking myself a different question. Instead of what if it goes wrong, I began asking, what if it works out? That shift led me to financial learning and finding a community of women investors who are quietly building wealth through real estate syndication, something I didn't even know was possible for everyday people like us. Within 2 years, I will earn over $350,000 in profit, more than my corporate salary, by learning how to make my money work for me. Now I help others do the same. Through the GoldTree Co Investor Circle, you'll learn how to access exclusive, vetted deals, create passive income, and invest in your future with purpose. If you're ready to start rewriting your money story and build real wealth with impact, drop wealth in the comments or visit goldtreeco.com to learn more. Because financial freedom isn't just for the few, it's for you. Hi, my name is Lily Pokam Singh. I'm a refugee from Laos, a mother, a biotech leader, and now podcast host and soon to be author. My life began with the crossing of the Mekong River, carrying silence that shaped much of who I became. For years, I tried to succeed in systems not built for me, carrying the weight of family sacrifice, cultural duty, and unspoken stories. This podcast, GoldTree Co, presents Rooted and Becoming, is my offering, a place to break the silence to honor the resilience we inherited, and to create a space where our stories can heal, inspire, and transform. The podcast is the entry point. It gives you stories and conversations that opens doors in your heart. Each episode over the next 12 months is like a mirror reflecting back the struggles and strengths that so many of us share. But I didn't want to stop at storytelling. That's why I created companion worksheets and tools. Pause this video and download your free copy of the companion worksheet now before we begin. After you listen, you can take those reflections deeper, writing exercises, prompts, and practices that help you connect the story to your own life. After each episode, I host a live community Q&A circle where we share more stories in a safe space. I'll post those details soon, so be sure to click subscribe for more details. The Rooted and Becoming podcast isn't just something you consume, it becomes something you practice. Month by month, you're not only listening to transformation, you're living it. And over time, these small acts, journaling, reflection, sharing with community, become stepping stones toward healing, self-worth, and a sense of belonging that is rooted and becoming resilient and lasting. Before we begin, I want to invite all of us, myself, my guests, and you listening, to take a moment to arrive fully in this space. If it feels comfortable, close your eyes or soften your gaze. Let's take a deep breath together. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Again, inhale, filling your lungs with presence. And exhale, releasing whatever you carried here that no longer serves you. One more time. Inhaling with strength. Exhaling heaviness. This is our space for healing and understanding. A space where silence is met with compassion, where truth is honored without judgment, and where every story matters. As we begin this conversation, may we carry the intention of listening deeply, speaking honestly, and remembering that even in the hardest truths, there is hope and possibility. Thank you for sharing this moment with us. Now let's begin. Today's episode is one I have carried in my heart for a very long time. Because episode 3, The Cost of Being the Good Daughter, is not just a theme for my memoir. It is a lived reality for so many first-generation women. And it is a story my family knows deeply. And the person who taught me the earliest lessons about sacrifice, duty, and unconditional care is the woman joining me today. My eldest sister, Malay Tran, has been more than a sister to me. She has been a steady light, a surrogate mother, and the quiet strength that held our family together through the hardest seasons of our lives. Molly was only 11 years old when she became a child refugee, arriving in the United States 48 years ago after our family fled Laos. She was the oldest of 6 children, with our youngest brother born here in the US. Overnight, she went from being a child to becoming a caretaker, advocate, protector, and at times translator in a country none of us understood. While other kids her age were discovering who they were, Molly was learning how to navigate 2 worlds for all of us. That early responsibility shaped her life in profound and often invisible ways. Molly was trained as a nurse, has worked in an emergency call center, raised 2 incredible children who are adults now, is a devoted wife, and somehow still have room in her heart to care for everyone around her. She is our family Kinkeeper, the person who remembers the birthdays, manages the crises, checks in on everyone, and holds the emotional thread of our family tree. It is a role that rarely gets recognition. It is a role that often asks more than it gives back. And yet, it is the glue that keeps families like ours whole. In today's conversation, Molly and I will talk openly about the unspoken burdens placed on eldest daughters in refugee and immigrant families, how perfectionism and responsibility were inherited, not chosen, what it means to center everyone else's needs while quietly abandoning your own, the emotional and physical toll of always being the reliable one, how we begin to unlearn these roles and reclaim our identities outside of duty, where healing begins when you've spent a lifetime caring for others first. We will also talk about the tenderness behind all of it, the way love, fear, obligation, and survival get intertwined in diaspora families, and the quiet grief of realizing how much of ourselves we sacrifice without ever being asked. But this episode isn't just about the cost. It's about the restoration too, about finding our voice again, reconnecting with joy, and learning to receive care instead of only offering it. Today, I am honored to share the mic with my sister, my teacher in resilience, and one of the most generous souls I know. Please give a warm welcome to the one and only Malay Tran. Yay! Hi, how are you doing? Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. I'm so excited. She's number 1 and I'm number 4, just so we're all clear. I'll share the picture just so everyone can see number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Of course, King is not in that picture because he was born here. But I'm so excited to have you join me on this Rooted in Becoming podcast. This is such an important topic, and I know that everybody's been waiting for this. So, Malay, you came to the US at 11 years old. You were the eldest of our siblings. I'd love to just understand the roles and expectations that you played before we left Laos.
I was raised away from all of you. 2 and myself were sent off to be raised by somewhere in the city where grandma and auntie would be our nanny. Just a picture back in 75 or earlier, like downtown San Diego and San Marcos, just like how tiny it is. That's was equivalent to that. I never knew you guys existed because I never met you guys. And then I was sent off to like French school. I didn't go to Laotian school.
Mhm.
And then during the war, we can't, as a kid, we don't know. I mean, I was allowed to be a kid. But when the war stopped, that's when I go, oh, what's going on? That's when mom and dad come and, take us home. And then that's when I see you guys.
Okay.
And you guys also have someone taking care of you too, because mom's working. Then mom doesn't work anymore. So and that's when I go to Laotian school.
So that
Yeah.
was that 1975,
I would say 75, yes.
but up until then, it was you and
Two
Monica.
and then
You
two
and
and
Monica.
Monica.
Just for
Mm,
just for our listeners, just so they know. Growing up, the second eldest, her nickname is Two. Her naturalized name is Monica. So when we say Two, it's Monica.
Monica and Uncle Chai, myself, we kind of pair up because well, two is younger than me, but Uncle Chai is the same age as me. So we always
Right.
do things together. And then after 75, I have to go back. Well, mom, dad come and, take us home.
Yeah.
And that's when I started Laotian school. I did not see uncle. That's when I see you guy. And there's another person raising you guy. The
Mhm.
reason I remember that because she made me go to bed early while she's partying. And mom and dad's never home because
Oh.
mom and dad's going somewhere looking for, they were like, in connection trying to get us out. But I'm
Mhm.
so grateful that they never tell me anything because I
Yeah.
blabber. So at nighttime I would play with some kid, the neighbor, and
Mhm.
then she would make us go to bed like 8 o'clock, and then she would go somewhere,
Mhm.
you know, with some other older people. I think we go to Laotian school for 1 year. I still remember this clearly because one day this girl
Mhm.
come up to me, he's like, hey, tomorrow someone's gonna fight you. I'm like, huh? Coming from the city, I'm like, what are you talking about? So I went home and go, Dad, someone gonna fight me. Can you teach me? He's like, why? He always asked Dad, that. He always asks why. You
Mhm.
give him the reason and he would process that and go, okay, I'll teach you. And he did. And I waited at school, nobody show up. For some reason now I think somebody's telling somebody, I don't know who that girl is, that, oh yeah, she's been trained now. So nobody bothers me after that.
Oh,
And then Monica never asked that to train her. And they, for some reason, they pair the younger sister, which is the same age as Monica,
uh-huh.
fight Monica. And I go, I turn around, Monica, open your eye, man.
Oh.
She fight with her eye closed.
Oh no.
You
Oh
know
my
they
goodness.
taught,
That
they
is
taught
poor,
her.
poor Monica. So obviously Monica was okay, but did
Yeah,
she? Okay.
because yeah, she learned how.
Okay.
But like I said, we have a normal
Yeah.
childhood like everybody. The role,
Uh-huh.
the expectation, it was not there because we're still a kid.
Which city was grandma living in?
Back then it's called an ideal. Just maybe 5-10 minutes you can be there, like near the airport, the Mekong River. It's not that far.
Mom and dad, me and Noonie, we lived in which city?
Pon King. So from there, I mean, it's not that far. Just like maybe Escondido to Vista. But back then, you don't have cars, so it looks far.
That's 10 miles, maybe?
I don't know. Like I say, I'm a kid. Everything looks fake to me.
Okay. Okay. Well, I just wanted to understand the distance. So when you were living with grandma and grandpa, what was the expectation at that time? Like go to school, be a good student, watch over your sister, stuff like that?
Well,
Right.
they would walk you to school, come home, see you have any homework, and then you eat and you play. So it wasn't like, oh, you have to do this and that because we're just, you know, just
Yeah.
me, uncle, and Monica.
Right, right.
And
You had to just be a well-behaved
mhm.
kid, a
Oh no,
student.
you are not allowed to misbehave. You know that. I
Yeah.
mean, that's a standard for
Mhm.
Laotian, especially our family, especially with
Mhm.
grandma. You
Mhm.
misbehave, you get punished.
Okay.
You don't be running around. Well, except me, I'm a tomboy. So if nobody's watching, I'll be climbing the mango tree or the pomelo tree. And
So then let's fast forward. We escaped. We stayed in the camps, and you were not with us.
same thing. I was separated. I never asked. I don't think I want to know, but I do want to know sometime. Why do you leave me behind again? Because that's what I felt like when I was shipped off to live it somewhere else. I want to be with the family. It's like, why do you leave me behind? Either to help pay the kindness of that best friend's relative that help us, or and they say, you know, like when the refugee camp, you have a family of 7, they give you food, you know, there's extra 1 mile extra, so it'd be enough for you guys.
Mhm.
But they don't understand. I was only 10 years old. I
Right.
never do chores. I was become a maid. I do everything every day, the same thing, wake up and I
Mm-hmm.
eat leftover. That's why I always have that inkling. Like I told I when I have good friend at work or whatever, I tell them there's a reason why I don't like to leftover. That's like looking down upon me. I tell them, if you're a good friend of me, when you're gonna eat, offer me first. Don't eat and feel like, oh, I'm full here. You want leftover? Oh my God, that's to me disrespectful because that's what I have to eat.
Right.
Leftover.
For almost a year, you just ate the
I
leftover
mean,
the scraps.
that's a culture, but that's a culture, you know. But to me, that I wasn't grown
Yeah.
up like that. From being like the boss, I become a maid. So
Yeah.
overnight, it's like to me,
Yeah.
I couldn't grasp that, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they were nice. They were nice. They took, you know, the like an auntie, we call her auntie. She would hand stitch clothes to me. And she had money. They have big house, big cars, but she would stitch clothes to me because I was a little kid, petite, you
Mhm.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So you went from that sort of childhood freedom to not knowing what was going on, living with a family you didn't really know.
Mhm.
And then fast forward, now you're in America. How did that role then drastically change for you?
Well, I was still only 11, so mom and dad when they land in San Diego, but we stayed like a month, and you know we haven't started school yet. And then when dad found a job, within like a month or two, we moved down to Escondido. So more like just help watch you guys, you know,
Mhm.
like a babysitting thing. Mom would cook, and I would help do dishes, but I
Mhm.
wasn't trained how to cook yet because I was still young. By the time I get to junior high, mom got pregnant. That really like was a milestone. Like it's like threw me in the ocean because mom was in the hospital. They have to go to work. And I
Mhm.
had to like take King as
Mhm.
a baby to go drop off at Mesulot's house. And then when I come back from school, I would go back to her house
Mhm.
and then wait until dad pick us up. And
Mhm.
you guys were in elementary school still.
Right.
It was different, you know,
Right.
challenging and then scary at the same time because I didn't know what I was doing.
Didn't know the language as well, and a lot of changes, right?
Yep. I mean, if I don't speak the English, but I the French helps a little bit. And then I'm exposed to foreigner when dad
Mhm.
was in Laos. And I see that often here and there. So I wasn't afraid, but it's
Mhm.
the speaking that I don't know how yet.
Yeah.
That yeah.
Ooh, let's fast forward then from middle school. Now we're high school. As I was in my child, I remember you were always doing something, working or something. Was there a shift at one point, like in high school, where you were taking on even more responsibility?
I see how we're not well off. So I never asked for anything. And then when I find out when we can work summer job for like a summer job program, I would like I can't wait to apply. And then of course mom would take half, you know, to help buy whatever she need to buy. And
Mhm.
then the other half I would buy clothes for myself and for my siblings, for you guys too, until
Mhm.
you guys get older when you guys work summer job. That's when like become like grow up now because I can't be a tomboy like a you know when you let me run free. So now when they take me somewhere, expect to be like know your manner, offer to help with everything, like you know, like but not cooking, you know, I'm not an expert, but dishwashing, serving drink, help greet, you know, serve drinks and stuff like that. So everywhere you go, you have to do it without being asked.
Right, right.
Mhm.
Now, remind me again, what was your first job?
It was in the high school. You can they make you go clean the windows and all that stuff. And the second time would be at the Salvation Army. I always loved Salvation Army because they offer adult school.
Uh-huh.
So as a like 14, 15-year-old still learning English, they asked me, can you go teach? I'm like, I'm looking, are you kidding me?
You were teaching English to other refugees or
Yeah, they're all refugee, and but that's what I understood. You have Laotian, Vietnamese, even Latino, everybody
oh
from
every
whatever.
okay, okay.
And then I'm like, I'm learning still. I remember when I was in junior high, the ESL class, you just said, here's a book and here's a cassette. So I would do the same thing.
Wow. Okay. So you're supporting yourself, like making
Well,
like
it's only summer,
yeah.
not until senior year. I know some Laotian people, and I actually applied to a company to make like connectors. They let me work because I was, almost 18. And yeah, it was hard that year because going to school full time and work full time. And, of course,
You were working full time?
yeah, I was like, yeah, to the point I have to give up because I can't. This is my senior year.
Were there roles and expectations like after high school that were placed on you growing up?
Like in between growing up, even like in high school, you not to have the boyfriend. You can't have boyfriend until you're up to your high school. Kind of like when I start working, like the summer between you graduate from eighth grade and then you're gonna go to high school. I work summer, so every summer I do that, and mom and dad expected that, like, oh, we can take care of ourselves buying clothes. We only buy clothes once a year. By senior year, I work and then I go, oh, I can help out. And then by my senior year, there's a Laotian guy. We go to the same school. I go, oh, there's one guy that the family knows. We only see each other in school. And then mom have an idea. Are you dating him? I go, I can't lie. I go, yeah. And she didn't say anything, but I think she told dad. That's when like you have to finish high school before you have boyfriend.
Mhm.
And then when I come home, of course, you have to help when people come over. I have to be there to help, not cook, more like prep, like a sous chef. And
Uh-huh.
then clean, it's expected of you. You don't not to be asked.
So that was after high school and then in college, 20s, 30s. How did that role evolve?
After high school, when now at 18, they're allowed to have boyfriend. And they notice like, okay, I date a Laotian guy. I noticed like they never call him boyfriend, it's like friend because I know if mom and dad when they don't like something, they're not gonna come tell me or tell me. They go tell either you guy or the aunts and uncle to come and talk to me. Because I guess they don't want to hurt my feeling. But then one day I'm like, why am I being asked to stay home? This is third time, and then people come over for dinner and it's nothing special. It's not like birthday or anything. Or, that's when I realized that one day, oh my God, they come looking at me. That's when I turn around to dad. I go, Dad, are they coming to look at me? He didn't say anything. I
Mhm.
turn around. I'm like, if they come through that door, I'm gonna die. I mean, curse at them. He have
Uh-huh.
the phone. Don't come over. Don't come over. So that dinner was canceled.
Oh my goodness, they were trying to arrange a meeting.
Throughout in like my teen year, I met dad's friend, their daughters, right? And they go, oh yeah, they're being arranged too, and they're okay with it. It's they someone are like, no, I don't like it, but I never thought because dad wasn't being forthcoming. Maybe I let me know, and then that's when he say, graduate from college, marry anybody you want. So that rule stayed with me. That might go for all of you guys. So.
We're so grateful for you for paving the road for all of us.
I mean, I know it hurts dad, but he set that rule, so we have to, stick by it.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. So you talked about being the perfect, and having manners and to not wait to be asked to help. Did that mentally, did that shape your expectations of yourself and maybe even your kids?
Growing up, it's like they would ask me to do something, and it was not. Instead, like, oh, you know what? Maybe you should add this more or put less. Instead, like, this is bad, not good enough. It's like, gee, it has to be perfect. There's no explanation.
No,
Okay, that's the reason why it didn't turn out like this is because you didn't do it this way. Just like bad. I'm like, nothing's good enough. So that's why I don't like to cook. I'll just clean. Because mom is not a cleaner. She's a cooker. So that's why so I go shift to that. So nothing's good enough. And mom never taught us to put makeup, for example. If it's not good, and she was like, oh, that's bad. Instead of like, you know what, honey, let's maybe put here and there. So because she wasn't taught herself, it's like I think the culture, like, see the example and do better. There's no explanation, there's no option. So
right.
when I have my kid, I make sure I explain and why I don't want to give it to them and why I'm giving it to them. At least they understand and it doesn't get hurt that much
Yeah.
and learn from that too.
Yeah. I think you've done a great job just by just watching you over the years with your kids. I've seen that with you. You're very patient with providing explanation so that they understand your point of view. I think you've done a great job. A lot of it because you weren't given a lot of feedback and explanation, like you said.
I don't talk back to dad or go out partying and they worry. You know why? Because they're making me in charge of you guys. And then when you go out late, I'm there waiting at like 1 in the morning. Mom and dad sleeping.
So all of the responsibilities, what most parents do, which is stay up late and worry, they had you
Yep.
stay up late and worry.
That's
Okay.
why I'm like, when you guys come home late, oh, we don't have money. Next time you go out, here's some change. Don't lie to me. So I become dad, like really blunt. Oh, I don't know what time, so I give you my watch. Here you go.
Like growing up, I remember you being the one that is, you played the parent because dad was working, mom didn't speak much English, but you were there for all like the parent teacher meetings. At least for me, I recall you being that person. And I imagine you were that person for Noonie, for Bupe, for King, you know what I mean? For
Why? You know why? Because mom and dad was too busy. They never show up for me. And then when I see other people show up for their kid, I go, oh, maybe the culture in Laos, they don't have show up day, or I don't know. But then when I go, oh, nobody's here. And it feels sad.
yeah.
But but
So
then when I feel like I want to be there for you guys, I want you to be example. You don't go out. You don't go out and party. I miss all my homecoming, my prom. Well, but you guys go like every year, man.
we did. Oh my gosh, I'm
I
so
never knew.
sorry. I feel so bad. We were at like, well, I didn't go to every year for prom, but I mean, homecoming, and you missed out on all of that.
I'm not allowed to go anyway. And then yearbook, because mom and dad don't have money, I don't want to burden them. So I only buy once eighth grade and once senior year, and that's it.
Was there a moment when you started to like question the roles and expectations at one point?
Oh, I
Like,
always fight because when I get older, dad's the one who talks to me like, you're the oldest, you're the oldest. You were born in this role, it's a destiny. I fight that destiny every night, every day. I cry at night, go, I don't want that destiny. I want to change it.
oh my
But
God.
then But then as I get older, and then like I say, I fought back. I didn't want to have arranged marriage.
Mhm.
So when I passed 21, all my friends, the Laotian friend, even American friend, by 18, 19, they get married. And then it hurts. Yes, it hurts because I'm like, did I just ruin my own life? And then I go, you know what? Like that says destiny.
Mhm.
So I go, I have four sisters and one brother. I can be there for them. So I don't care anymore. So I was more happy. It's like when I say I don't care, because
Mhm.
I have you guys, I can raise your kid. How Auntie was my nanny. I go, it's also like how I see in the Asian culture. I go, I'm okay. I'm okay. And I help dad, I still work part-time, go to school. So I have both. So I guess I accepted it. And then when I met my husband, my boyfriend, then we're just friend. And I
Mhm.
even help him like going out with a girl.
Mhm.
But then there's something inkling in me. But
Mhm.
then I go, no, it won't work because I'm older than him. And then one day, one of our friends, like, do you like him? I go, why you ask? Does he like me? He go, no, you tell me. I go, it's not gonna work. I go, kinda. The next day, that's
Mhm.
it. So he came here in 1975, 7 years old. He know the culture. He learned his language. He even learned how to write his language,
Mhm.
Vietnamese. But
Mhm.
he said you don't have to follow. That opened up a lot of things for me. I go, oh, I don't have to follow because when I date Laotian guy, I know the culture. I have to kind of like, I haven't like, let's
Mhm.
do trade. You know what I mean? But with him, when he said that, it gave me like, okay, I guess we can negotiate and say which one we can compromise. So that's when it started.
Wow, I did not realize that. So your husband, Feng, really opened the door for you to not accept the norm. He's like, you can still learn and appreciate it and celebrate it, but you can choose what you want to
You
do.
change,
And
choose or
yeah,
change it. Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's beautiful. I did not realize that you had that conversation with him. That makes me love him even more. Oh, I know you say that you were thinking about like, well, if marriage isn't for me, at least you can raise your siblings' kids. For people who are listening, I mean, you were in your late 20s. These days, people get married in their 30s or 40s. It's like, they think you're an old maid at a certain age, right? And it's so,
That's Laotian, remember? Laotian and Asian culture, you pass 21. That's old maid, man.
well, I'm glad you decided to choose your own destiny in that regard, because life would be so different.
But I know it hurts dad, but he tell me I got him that college degree and I passed my state board test. There you go, daddy. Now you have to let me choose. He understand. I know it hurts him,
Yeah.
but he still love us. That's how dad is. He can disagree. He can say, "Oh, I don't want to see that person," but something happened, he will go. You know,
Mhm.
he'll watch from the distance. He'll go to you. He would never cut you off just because. That's
Mhm.
how he is. So even though I was not raised by mom and dad a lot, but I learned that's how the Asian, I don't know about, but from mom and dad's perspective, expose you to something and the thing you learn. But that when you learn from the bad stuff, they go, why you do that? Do you gonna jump off the bridge when they do? You don't explain to us. So I'm so glad there's somebody watching up there make me go to the right path. Like I never tell you guys this. I try to babysit when we still live in North Broadway, and I know the girl, and she have her brother, and I go, oh, it's kind of cute. For like a year or so older than me.
Mhm.
And then he touched me. I go, oh no. And he go, okay. At that time of those era, I was so grateful that he respected that. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Yeah, I just like I say, I was like fortunate to have people who kind of look after me.
That's so true.
And then for you guys, it was me
Yeah.
with Upe, Noonie. How much I had to drive to like Cal Poly. Oh.
Oh my goodness. I know you've been with us throughout every milestone, and then even after this last decade, after dad passing, were there roles and expectations of you at that point?
That hit hard because when I know when that passed, I know what's coming. I
Mhm.
mean, even like elderly people would come up to me, bypass mom. What's next? I'm like, I just want to run away. I just want to cry and run away. At the same time, I know the culture, the
Mhm.
tradition. I have to make sure it goes step by step. Even though you cry, you have to stop crying. That's one thing you learn from mom. When you crying or have an argument with your spouse or whatever, people knock at your door. You better have that smile on your face and open that door. Growing up is like that. And
Mhm.
then when that passed, I just want to run. On me, I just want to cry at the same time. And then I look at you guys. I go, I can't give this to you guys. It's not fair. You were not born to take this. For example, you have elderly men, even the monk called king. Instead of king, like he's the youngest one. Big brother. So you see how the tradition. So I couldn't give it to him. I couldn't give it to any of you because the tradition, it's
Mhm.
just too much. I talk to mom and uncle. You know what? I tell all of them. I tell all of you. I can be there for you, shoulder to cry on, to listen, ear to listen. But I cannot be like that where I have financial backing to support you guys. That's one thing I cannot. That's why I always preach to all of you. Dad said, when you have money, don't spend all of it. Put in a saving, put away for the rainy day.
Yeah, it's definitely we're very grateful for you for watching over us, and I've always held the role of, I call it Kinkeeper, because it's something that I learned in the recent years. It's the person that just holds the family together. Everybody goes to when they have problems. It's a very hard role to play, and it's usually, I think, the eldest. So I want to take a moment just to say thank you for playing that role. I know it's not easy, and you've done it so gracefully, and with love and patience. But I also know how hard it can be to stay in that role. And I know I've seen some changes in you, positive changes, where you are almost like putting boundaries up. You know what I mean? Because that can drive someone crazy to be that person, right? That everybody goes to with all their problems. Kind of walk me through that. At what point in time did you say, look, I got to take care of me now?
Remember growing up watching dad and all other people around me. I never wanted to have a burden on my husband because it's not his burden, it's me. So
Mhm.
so I try to keep that. But then as I get older,
Mhm.
actually I know one day I will die. I'm preparing all of you, the niece and nephew now, and my own kid, that you guys need to change, to learn, to help each other. So that's why I want the niece and nephew to have group like how we bond as a sibling. I want them to do that because family is important to me. It anchor you. It keep you like you don't have to believe in anything, but when you have family, believe in each other. You anchor. When you don't have family, I seen my own people that I know around me that they have huge family, but none of them talking, and and they're not happy, and it's sad. It's like
Yeah.
all this time you let it go. You know what I mean? So I don't want that. I want my family to be together, to help each other. Doesn't mean give money. Help each other mean like to listen, to be there, to hug. You know what I mean? That's what I want. And also, I'm getting old, and I'm preparing you guys to I'm not here to be there for each other. Same thing with a niece and nephew. I want them to have their own clique. You don't have to have me set it up for you. You can set it up.
Well, that's beautiful. And I do see that you nurturing and encouraging the cousins and the younger generations to try to stay connected and to support each other. In addition to that, what are some of the things that are you doing for yourself? I've seen you do a lot more hikes, like going for walks. And can you tell me about some of the things that you are doing for yourself that is just giving you joy?
You can tell I'm a little hyperactive. That's why I can do a lot of things, accomplish a lot of things around the house. But if I have to like release stress or, just let it go, hiking, walking, that's me. That's how it is. You just release that energy and then clear your mind. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm better now. Okay, I can go home and face whatever. Some people do meditation, some people do shopping, but that's not me. I like
Okay.
to see scenery,
Mhm.
waterfall of birds. I guess I'm different.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well, I'm glad. Keep on doing that because I've seen the changes in you, and I hope to continue to see that come from you.
But also I let go. I just like I can't take care of everybody like how dad does. I don't know, I let go and then not let go like don't talk to the people. No, let go like I can't help you with this one. That's true. I like let go in certain things. Not
Release the
to,
burden, to release the burden of
like
control.
for example, in Laos, you want to get married. Um, you want to have a job before you want to get married. I would give some a little bit, but not gonna give a lot. So that less burden of me instead like I'm gonna pay for everything. So I go, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I have to accept it now. I'm not, superhuman.
Superhuman. Yeah, that's too much to ask of anyone, for sure. And how did perfectionism and obligation shape who you are and your self-worth? Because like you having to be that good daughter, perfect sister, if you weren't serving others, did it make you feel less valuable?
No, I just like I want to help people, make me happy. I don't know. It's just like at work too. I go, I'm sorry. I tell my boss, I'm a perfectionist. Can you QC my work real quick? Make sure I did everything okay. It's like you do that like a check, 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 do it again, check, like a jail sergeant. I think that's how dad raised me like that. Do the same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, well, and I do that too. And I think part of that, as part of my work, because I'm in project management, I have checklists and all that, but a lot of it is so that I can have a sense of control of the chaos around me. You know what I
No,
mean? And
yeah, but
so,
me like I have to make sure I get everything perfect. I don't know why. It's from
well,
them
I think
growing
it
up.
comes from growing, yeah, exactly. Growing up with that expectation has now created an environment where you will question yourself as well, right? Like you
Yeah.
said, with example with work, part of that being that perfect daughter, I think we all have different levels of that, growing up. I think you had it probably the most intense with mom and dad. But for me, I mean, I definitely had a sense of having to be perfect at home and also at work, and then as like a daughter-in-law, and I mean, just impacts who I am, always wanting to feel validated, right?
Mhm.
And we can't change their way of thinking. That's for sure. Um, but we can change how we react to them.
Yep.
So I wanted to ask you, Molly, if there is one truth or message that our listeners can take with them, what would that be?
I guess you have to be true to yourself and say, can I do this? If you can't, give that title to someone else. If you are the only child, I understand that's going to be heartbreaking because you have no one else to give that title to. But nowadays, I know that there are organizations that you can reach out to help with
Mhm.
care, shopping, or just something to help alleviate the duty of certain thing.
You don't have to do it alone. Find the resources in the community to help you. You shouldn't have to sacrifice yourself to be a good daughter.
It's not easy, but I like to do things all by myself sometimes. But
Mhm.
but there are good resources you can reach out to the community to help listen. That way you
Mhm.
don't feel like you're not doing your job.
You're not doing it alone.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful. And you shared a little bit about how you had broken the cycle of being that good daughter, and who in your life has inspired you to help break that cycle.
Well, don't tell him, but it's my husband. You know, because growing up, the culture, no, our culture is still, even I went back home last year, it's like they take care of you, they cook everything, even though they're tired. The Laotian communities, no, it's not that big, and we want to have that culture. So when people come to our house, we would give them
Mhm,
food, and I would take it to you, like a servant. So I
mhm.
did that to him. He's like, "Oh, you don't have to do that to me. I mean, I'm not that special." I'm like, "Ooh." That's when like ding ding ding. I go, oh, we can compromise. He know that I understood the culture, but he don't expect of me to do that. So that's when it lead up to that.
That's wonderful that he did not expect you to have to sacrifice yourself. But I have to acknowledge that you do provide, with cooking, and you do make him feel special.
I still do it because that's part of me. Even at work, I still do it to my coworker too. There's a Malay stop. I go, I can't stop. But like I said, in terms of like decision making, is mutual.
Can you share a quote that you just want to share with the world?
Ask for help, and then what I can do. Can you show me? That's how I get at my work. I go, you know what? I think I can do this. Can you show me?
That's great. So it's essentially learn and do and show and do. You love by being a service to others. I love that. That's wonderful. You've just listened to Rooted in Becoming, brought to you by GoldTree Co. I want to thank my guests, my sister Molly Tran, for sharing the quiet truths so many eldest daughters carry. Her story reminds us that duty can be heavy, love can be complicated, and the roles we inherit in our families often shape us long before we understand their weight. Molly's journey shows us that healing does not come from being perfect. It comes from finally allowing ourselves to be whole. As you reflect on today's conversation, I invite you to ask yourself, where in my life have I been performing the good daughter, the good child, or the good one at the cost of my own needs? And what part of me is ready, finally, to be seen, heard, and cared for? If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who has carried more than their share of responsibility. Your share might be the permission they've been waiting for. To support this work, subscribe, leave a review, or connect with me on social media at GoldTree Co. In our next episode, we'll explore Home is Not a Place, a conversation about belonging, dislocation, and what it means to rebuild a sense of home when the map of your past doesn't match the place where your heart longs to rest. Until then, remember, you are rooted and becoming. Stay resilient, stay radiant, and always worthy beyond measure. This is Lily, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Before we close, I'd love to share a few extra moments that didn't make the main episode, but were far too tender, funny, and human to leave behind. These are the small stories that reveal so much of who Malay was long before she became the anchor of our family. Like her early love for raisins, how something so simple brought her so much joy and humor in a world that felt uncertain and new. Or the time she stood up to bullies, even as a young girl who had just arrived in America, already showing the fierce courage and protectiveness that would shape her life. There's a moment she shared that reminded both of us of Aquafina's film, The Farewell, those bittersweet, quietly humorous family dynamics that every immigrant household knows too well. And she also reflected on one of the life lessons our mother gave her, a lesson she still carries close to her heart today. These glimpses add layers to her story and her bravery, her softness, her humor, and the roots of the woman she became. I hope you enjoy these moments as much as I do. Thank you. So, Mala, I wanted the opportunity for you to share with our listeners a fond memory or two growing up that you hold dear to your heart to this day.
Yeah, on North Broadway, King was a baby. Back then, diaper was not good quality. And I
Oh.
love raisin, And me and Uncle Chai, we saw something on the floor. We both die for it. And I picked up, oh, it's not raisin. I'm like, oh, yeah. Yeah, it was a raisin. Um, this
My,
one is it's not a good thing, but like sometimes a guy tease you, and this is like my, I think, eighth grade. Yes, I remember his name. He always take my pencil and put it somewhere to hide. That day, I don't know what happened. I turn around and boom, and then he's jumping back. They pull us off. But the whole class know who we are. They pull me and him off each other, and then I go, God, I don't see him. What did he go to San Pasqual or Orange Glen? Guess what? The day I graduate, they call his name. I go, oh my God, all this time he's in the same high school. He must have avoided me all this time.
look at you. So you got into multiple fights. From like
Yeah, it was
from
bad.
freaking labs to you don't, I think the message is do not pick a fight with Molly.
In high school, named me Muffly. I have no idea what that means, but they call me Muffly.
Like mafia
I don't
slash
know. I don't know. You have to ask others. Yeah, yeah.
any other messages, or I just want to give you the opportunity.
Since because we don't live in the country that we were born in, where the culture is really strong. Here, I think it's okay to change a little bit, to evolve. It's okay, but don't change the whole thing. Like oh, I'm not gonna do this. No, you can edit a little bit, fix a little bit. Take things out. You can evolve, and it's okay. You'll be okay.
Oh, I think that's a great message, actually. You don't have to conform to the
You don't have to conform
expectations.
100%.
And yeah, 100. You can evolve it, shape it, kind of adjust and be flexible, right? I think that's a great message.
Like I say, how I say before, family is important to me. Well, when growing up, I'm fighting with, inside of me fighting like, I don't want to be conformed to this traditional, I'm going to take over one day.
Mhm.
And I accepted it and then kind of like change it a little bit. And then I try not with my own daughter, with my own son. I let her be, but then little twist that you have to watch over your brother, right? When I'm not here.
Mhm, mhm,
So I don't want to keep too much a burden,
mhm.
but just a little bit of responsibility because I want him to fly.
In my situation, at one point you have to just realize that you've done everything that you can. in terms of setting the foundation, strong foundation for them. And at one point, you're like, you just have to let them fly and be who they were meant to be. You know what I mean? And, but still be there. It's not that we're stepping away as parents, right? We're just still providing guidance. But sometimes they also have to learn the lessons because that's how you learn the best is through these lessons.
I do that, but at the same time, it's like as a mom, you know want your kid to hurt. Just now I know how dad and mom feel, and they have five daughters and one son, and we only have two of each, right?
Mhm.
So I can see where they're coming from, but they don't have the communication skill.
Mhm.
You know, um, I can see being the oldest one is a little hard, but at the same time, my son is the oldest, but then he also is autistic. So
Mhm.
then it can afford to his sister, but I only give her part of it, not
Mhm.
all of it. So the rest is gonna be on me and my husband.
And all we want to do is give our kids a better life than us and not the same pressures.
What I want to say to everybody is like, our parent have to fight for education. Mom had to fight for education because they took her out after high school, but her
Mhm.
sibling get to go to college. So when we come to us, even though we might have to see eye to eye, but her thing is like, you get education, you work, and
Mhm.
that same thing, education, education. Even
Yeah.
like I got two kids go, so when you gonna go back to kid your math? I go, no, dad, I'm busy right now. I'm too busy to make sure the kid go to school. And
Mhm.
even like before he died, he's just like, are you gonna go back? Go, daddy, come on, no, I'm okay.
Yes. Hmm.
So so you have to change, evolve a little bit, how the situation where you at. That's why as a daughter-in-law, I never speak up because that's not my place. Especially I'm number six.
Speaking of that, yeah, it's definitely played a role for me, because I would sit there and not speak up and then you pretty much hold your tongue, right? But at one point though, it's very hard. And I think it's okay to share your thoughts, but to do it in a respectful way. You know what I mean?
And then the youngest one, she grew up here. She came when she was 11 years old,
Mhm.
and she would preach to the oldest brother-in-law.
Mhm.
And even like, we all, everybody's like, just like, what's that movie? What's her name? She's a comedian. One where her grandma's dying.
Aquafina. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I
That
know
one.
which movie you're talking about. Yeah, 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 yeah.
You
She
see
goes
how,
back to yeah.
yeah, you see how she grew up here. She go over there, all like, that's not your place. Does it make sense? It's like that. That's a good movie. That's a good example, man. That's a really
Yeah.
good example.
Actually, I cried. Like that was a really good movie. We'll have
Oh,
to.
it was. I love that. I love that movie. You know why? It's the same thing as grandma. I was in that place. Mom and uncle does
Mhm.
not want to be the break the bad news. And you know how I tell you guys, don't ever lie to me. White lie is different, I go, oh my God, don't put me in this place because I lost my Uncle Dow. That hurts a lot because everything is me. I in charge of everything. Because
Mhm.
nobody wanted to be in charge because they don't want to hurt. So after he passed and then grandma passed, I go, okay, let's do a white lie. I go, don't tell her she's dying. She has 6 months to live. Just say, grandma, they want you to stay home. They're gonna bring you oxygen. They go, okay, that's a good idea. So that's the white lie that I did for grandma that I think I can live with because I cannot tell her that she's dying.
Mhm.
Does that make sense? So when I watch that movie, it remind me of grandma.
Oh, yeah. That's so true for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much, Molly. This was I truly appreciate you being on the podcast for Rooted and Becoming episode 3, The Cost of Being the Good Daughter. Thank you so much for sharing your stories with all of us and cannot wait to see the next chapter of your life going forward. So,
Thank you
um,
for having me.
thank you. Okay, I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.
Please follow and subscribe at GoldTree Co. Stay rooted and becoming and worthy beyond measure. Thank you for staying until the end of the episode. At GoldTree Co, we believe anyone can start building wealth with intention. With as little as $500, you can step into real estate angel investing, gaining access to vetted opportunities normally reserved for big players. This is about more than returns. It's about creating stability today, freedom tomorrow, and a legacy that lasts for generations. Your money works for you while you focus on what matters most. Ready to grow with us? Visit goldtreeco.com and book your complimentary meeting with me now. And let's plant seeds of wealth together.